Hi, and welcome to part 2 of my testimony. So, what would you do if one day you just woke up and all of your anxiety, your depression, PTSD, all of it was just gone? So, that's what happened to me in November of 2022, and here's what I did. So, up until this point, I had been talking to my therapist about being put on disability for my mental health. I was unable to work. I painted, I put my art in galleries, and I door dashed, but even then I would have panic attacks with traffic, and so I was really struggling to make an income. So after my deliverance, when I realized I was feeling better, I had this new fire arise in me, and so I started applying and doing all kinds of events to showcase my art. But during that process, several of my tents ended up getting destroyed from the weather. I had inventory that was ruined. I mean, it just wasn't working. And so around March, I saw an ad for a retail space. It was downtown in Shawnee, Oklahoma. It was within my budget. It was beautiful. And so in March of 2023, I became a business owner. And this is something that I couldn't have done before because I was just so anxious and depressed, and I couldn't maintain life before. I had so many panic attacks that I was having heart palpitations and I was having those types of issues. So I couldn't work before. And so becoming a business owner was a really big deal. Like, this was a huge blessing. So I ended up pulling 12, 14-hour days to paint, clean up, get everything ready to open. I was just working and working. And I had the kids with me, and we were doing our homeschooling there. It was really hard. I worked a lot. And I got to the point where we were just ready to open. I had called and made an appointment with the fire marshal to get approved for my occupancy license. And then that night, a tornado hit. This tornado ended up devastating our town of Shawnee. We lost 1,800 structures. This tornado devastated our economy. I lived in a little town about 5 minutes away from Shawnee, so our home was okay. And I remember I'm driving out there to check on the gallery at 5 a.m. and everything is just pitch black because the power is out. I was listening to Lion, and so the words were, "O valley, be raised up, O mountain, be laid low." And the Lord was just sharing with me and ministering to my heart that that's what he was doing. He was shifting things, and it didn't really make sense, but then it didn't have to because the Lord was still moving and he gave me peace. And so I ended up pulling up to the gallery, and it was still standing. It was still there. There was no damage. There was damage on our street, but it was several blocks away, and we were okay. So this put about a 2-week delay on getting opened up, meeting back with the fire marshal before I could open. And that did put a lot of financial strain. And we didn't really have any customers. Everybody was so worried about rebuilding their homes, their businesses. They lost everything. So we didn't have a lot of customers. But what struck me during this time, what hit the most was after the tornado, I had reached out to a friend of mine to see if she was okay, see if she needed anything. Do you need cleanup? And I didn't hear back. And this story, this saga that happened here is what ended up spurring me into the deliverance movement. And so if you want to find out what that is, you'll have to catch part 3.